Hey everyone, welcome to Life Coach University and the wonderful world of Pay It Forward talks, conferences, festivals, and courses. My name is Chris Weals, and I am a relationship coach for men. And this whole month, I've been talking about relationship recovery. Today is day 15, and we're in the final day of talking about social awareness and how it relates to your close personal relationships. Yesterday, I spoke about acts of love and cries for help, and how having awareness of where your partner is coming from can be very helpful for how you respond to them. And if you can choose compassion and gratitude and have that type of positive intentional response and attitude, then that you're going to be able to create an experience and results that you actually really want versus what you've maybe been getting because you've been reactive instead of intentionally responsive. So today I'm going to talk to you about creating a purpose and a vision for your relationship. Yeah, if you have any questions at any point, you can type those into the Q&A, which is down there. There's a button for that near raise hand. So just at any point, put in your question and I will answer all of the questions at the end of the session today. All right, so the purpose and vision for your relationship. Do you know why you're in the relationship that you're in? What is it that you what's your intention for the relationship that you have? Why be with the person that you're with? Is it just because you don't want to be alone? Is it because of what this person has to offer you or what you have to offer them? Is it what you have to offer the world together? I think that it doesn't matter what I think relationships should be about or what anyone else thinks. This is something for you and for your partner to create together. Why are we together, right? Like this is a very personal thing, and I think it's a very important thing to understand why you're in the relationship that you're in. What are you doing together? What are you up to in this relationship? What's the point of it, right? Is it just because you don't want to be alone and you don't want to be lonely and you want somebody to share life with? Is it something about this person in particular? I imagine that there are plenty of things about your partner in particular that make you want to be with them, but I will share my thoughts on purpose of being in an intimate, close, personal relationship. Of course, like I said, this is for you to decide, for you and your relationship. It's for you and your partner to determine is best for you. But for me, I think that coming together and being in a committed long-term relationship with someone is about mutual growth. So we come together because we're both solid, whole, complete people full of love and life, and we want to share that with our partner, and we want to help each other grow. So it's about mutual growth. It's about synergy, right? Like, so my life is awesome on its own, but it's even better with my partner in it because of the experiences that we're having, because of how she helps me grow, because of the love that we share with each other and then with the world around us. So we're contributing in meaningful ways to each other's lives, and then together we're contributing in ways that are meaningful to us, to other people's lives, to people in our communities, to our families, and to our friends, to our clients. We're creating, so the purpose of the relationship for me, for us, is to give. It's to get to express who we really want to be, and it's to be able to see the areas where we each want to grow. So if she points out something to me that is less than ideal for her, like a behavior of mine, then that's an opportunity for me to reflect on that, to evaluate it, and then decide, hey, is that behavior reflective of who I want to be? If not, then I'm going to change that. And if it is, then okay, well, we need to have a conversation about, hey, this is something that is part of who I want to be. If that's a problem for you, then we need to get clear on that, because it could be that, hey, that we're no longer a good fit together. And so, then we can go our separate ways. And I think we should always have that in mind, that that's a possibility. I think a lot of times we get into relationships and we feel like it's an obligation. I have to be committed to this person for the rest of my life, no matter what. I think that's a social construct that's unfortunate, because we change, we grow, we're not the same person we were when we first got into that relationship. And if we're no longer growing together, if that's not a good fit anymore, why feel this sense of obligation? Hey, that's a should, right? I should stay with this person, but you don't want to, your heart's not in it. It's probably not going to be the relationship that either one of you wants. And so I say that's an option. Of course, this is my opinion, right? We all have our different beliefs, religious or social or family or wherever they come from. And that's great. We should all have our own beliefs about relationships and about life, and about what makes us, right? Like what matters to me is what makes me, how I behave, what my intentions are, how I show up, the way I speak, the way I act. All of this makes me who I am, right? And that's unique. We're all unique. So what's your purpose for being in the relationship that you're in, right? What's your why for it, right? I think it's really important to ask yourself that question, spend some time with it, because it might not come easy to you. It might not be an easy question to answer, but I believe it's a very important question to know for yourself. Why am I with this person, right? And then the second thing is the vision for your relationship. What do you want your relationship to look like? What do you want it to be on a daily basis, day to day? What does that look like for you and your partner? These are great things to talk about with your partner. I think this is a really good conversation to have over dinner, in the evening, before bed, at any time, whatever time works best for you, obviously. But I think this is something that it's important, one, to know for yourself, but also for your partner to know, and then for you to both understand each other's ideas about this, and have a conversation so you can come to terms with this kind of stuff. So why are you in this together, right? And so the vision is about intentionally thinking about and maybe writing this down. I always say write it down, because then it helps you to remember. It helps you to come back to it and revisit it and reinforce it. And then if things change, you can change what you have written, but it helps to actualize a vision or anything if you write it down. And so what do you want the day-to-day to look like with your partner? What do you want on over the course of a year or 2 or 5 or 10 or 20? And know that this is going to change. So try not to let the idea of forever or long-term and permanent, don't let that freeze you up, because it can be kind of overwhelming if you think, well, how do I know what I want for the next 20 years? I'm going to change. That's going to change, and that's okay. But I think it's really helpful to be able to have an idea of that now, something that you're working toward. What am I growing toward? What am I trying to create here? and how does this relationship play into that? So you can do this for your life and then do it for the relationship, see how that fits in to all to form your whole life picture. And I imagine your close personal relationship it plays a huge role in your entire life and what your life is like, the quality of your life, how healthy you are, your lifestyle, your hobbies and interests, and all of them. But so, what's your vision, right? And what's your vision for your relationship, right? Do you want, how are you splitting up the chores, the responsibilities, the finances? How much time are we spending together? Just the two of us, right? Or how much time are we spending with the two of us plus other people? Or if you have kids, with the kids, or how much time are you spending just by yourself? Because it's really important that we all have that time for inner reflection. Maybe some people needed to recharge, but I think it's important that we do have time on a weekly, maybe a daily or a weekly basis, where we're alone, so that we can really know ourselves better, right? And not always constantly influenced by the people around us, and not just time alone spent on work, time dedicated to you, right? I think it's so important. And I think a lot of people in relationships fail to do this because we get codependent, right? We need our partner to be around, and if they don't want to be around us, then we think there's something wrong, and that hurts our feelings. And so I think it's important. How much time on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, whatever works for you, are you scheduling or envisioning that you're spending by yourself? How much time are you spending with your loved ones outside of your relationship without your partner there, right? So there's you and your partner together, you and your partner with the family, you and your partner with your friends, your alone time, your time without your partner, with your friends and family. I think it's important to have an idea of what you want that to actually look like, so then you can start to create that and you can communicate that with your partner, so that you get on the same page, so there aren't any surprises, so you can eliminate or drastically reduce hurt feelings around spending time together and spending time apart. So there's things like travel. Do you want to travel more with your partner, and do they have the same ideas about that? Do you want to buy a house together? Do you want to sell your house? Do you want to rent? Do you want to move from where you're currently living? Would you rather live in another country or another state or another city? If you don't create the vision for this, if you don't make it clear in your mind, then it's difficult to create. And if you're just letting life happen, then you're just going to get what you get, and you might not like it. And if that's what's been happening, that's okay. I was there for a long time myself. It actually helped me a lot to have the partner that I have, who asked me early on in our relationship, Chris, what do you want your life to look like? It seems like you're just kind of floating and letting life happen to you. And at that point in my life, that was the case. I didn't really have a lot of intentions for what I wanted my life to look like. And so her asking me that question and giving me the push that I really needed helped me to get very intentional about what I actually wanted versus just letting life happen. And I started making some serious changes in my life. I moved to the beach. I got a completely different type of job. I started traveling a lot more. So I actually started creating for myself what I wanted with intention. And I didn't even think that was possible. I was in this place of victimhood and just, hey, life just happens to you and you get what you get. And, you know, I'm lucky to have what I have, and it's awesome to be grateful, but we are the creators of our lives, whether we know it or not. And so I think, hey, if that's the case, I think it's better to know it. It's better to do it intentionally, do it with purpose, and have that vision come from your purpose. So you start with your values and your intentions and your purpose, your why. What am I about? Right? What am I about? What is my relationship about? Based on that, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want my relationship to look like? How do I want that to go on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and then start thinking long term. In 5 years from now, what do I want my relationship to look like? Do I want it to be any different? Or maybe we're not married now and I want to be married. I want to be married, right? I want us to be living in a house together. I want us to be working on a business together. I want us to be investing together. I want us to have kids or a dog or whatever. I want us to travel more together. I want us to actually spend more time together, or less time together, whatever that is. What do you actually want, right? And then compare that to where you're at, and do this without judging yourself harshly, without judging your partner harshly. Just, you know, don't put any blame on where you're at. If you don't want to, if you're not where you want to be, it doesn't help to blame anyone for that. So just use it as a tool, as an assessment, right? Okay, here's, now I have this vision for where I want to be. We're not there now. Okay, cool. But that now I just know what the gap is. And so that helps me to start to create specific goals and plans, and then start taking action coming from a place of love and gratitude. It's so important to have gratitude for what you're working toward, because that's the ultimate show of faith, that you know it's coming to you. And when you have that ultimate faith, then you have all the confidence you need, you have the drive that you need, you're going to make it happen because you already believe that it will. And so you can already feel grateful for it. And when you already feel grateful for it, you're going to have the energy you need. You're going to attract the right people. The universe opens up for you when you have that attitude. And when you're focused on your vision and on making it your reality, and you're already feeling excited for it because you know it's going to happen, the universe says, this is what you want, and you already are grateful for it. So you believe in it, you believe in yourself, you got it. You know, it's yours. It's already yours, right? That's how vision and faith and focus, that's how that works. And purpose, it's a big part of it. Like, your purpose is your North Star. It's your compass, if you will. It helps you make decisions about where to go, right? And your vision is your map, right? This is what I want my life to look like. So that helps you get to where you want to go. Also, it helps you live out your purpose. It helps you realize your purpose. And then you have other tools like creating goals and plans and taking courageous action and getting other people to help you and all of that. That's all part of the process too, but it starts with, you know, first taking responsibility, like owning responsibility for your life, for your relationship, and then creating that purpose and vision for it, and then realizing it, doing the steps that are necessary to realize it. And so that's you know, the challenge for the day is to get really clear on your purpose for your life, for your relationship. Create a clear vision for your life and for your relationship. That way you have the map, right? You know what you want, you know what you're working toward, right? Then you could start taking steps to work toward it. But first, you have to get really clear on what you want, or else it's going to be really hard for you to create that. If you don't know what you're creating, you know, that adds a lot of challenge. So yeah, that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in. If you need or you want more help in creating your purpose and your vision, this is something that I can help with. Other coaches can help with. There are books out there like Jack Canfield's Success Principles is a good one. There are tools available and there are people available to you to help you. So don't feel like you can't do this because you don't know how. There are resources out there for you. And I am one of those resources. So please, if you want help with this, because it can be really challenging to know how to do this. So you can find me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me through lifecoachuniversity.com. There's a contact page there. You can reach out to any of the coaches there. And I will now get to the questions you have. Oh, good question. Why don't we learn this in school? That is a terrific question. And I wish that we did learn this in school. There are a lot of things that we don't learn in school that would be incredibly helpful, and creating purpose and vision for ourselves is definitely up there to help us live a life of intention and joy and purpose. Yeah, it would be amazing if they taught us this in school when we were young. So like if you're like me, you don't have to wait until you're in your 40s to start to do this and figure it out for yourself, after going through 20 something years of adulthood of kind of floating and not knowing that we even can, right? And I hope that people do start to teach this in school, these concepts of intentional creation, of, hey, there are tools, there are concepts, and there are tools, there are practices that are available to all of us to create our lives purposefully. And that when we do that, our lives are so much more fulfilling, so much more meaningful, so much more enjoyable, because we're creating this path for ourselves. We're creating this vision. This is what I actually want, not just what I'm picking because I don't know any better or because I'm afraid, because this is what my parents wanted for me, even though it doesn't feel right to me, but I guess I'm going to just go along because, the pay is good and I don't know what else to do. And man, it sure would be nice if I could discover my purpose. It would be nice if that were dropped into my head. But it doesn't have to be like that. We don't have to wait to discover it, because we have the freedom of choice and we are creative beings, right? So you get to create that. And I don't know, I think it would be amazing to teach this kind of stuff to our young students before they become adults, so that they can enter into adulthood having a better idea of what they actually want for themselves, and knowing, like, having the confidence and the self-esteem to do this, to know that they're enough. Like, they have what they need to be successful in any area of life and every area of life. And we all have that within us, no matter what our background is, right? No matter what family we come from. It's just a matter of knowing this stuff, knowing that we are perfectly capable of creating the life that we want to have. A lot of people don't know it. And then knowing the tools and learning how to apply them so that you actually make that happen. So you actually realize your dreams. That's, yeah, I really hope that we start teaching this stuff in school. And in the meantime, the self-development and the life coaching industry, that it's a movement right now, and it's blowing up. Life Coach University is a big part of that, where we're giving this stuff away because we want to share this with the world. We're sharing this knowledge, these concepts, these tools, these practices. We're doing it as a pay it forward because it's been such a huge positive force in our own lives, and we fully believe in it, and we want to share it with as many people as we can, so the world does learn this stuff, and maybe somebody will learn from this, and then their pay it forward will be starting to put this into school curriculums and actually start teaching this stuff in schools, because I think this stuff is amazing, and it's so effective. It's so helpful. I'm so blessed that I found out about all of this, and that I had people to support me and help me apply it and actually start creating my life with intention. And so, yeah, let's keep spreading the word and helping others realize that they can have what they actually want in life. The questions you are asking are really powerful. Some of my answers are really scary to even consider. Can I be a single parent? Will I survive? How can I work and parent? If I can't talk to my partner now, how will we talk if we are separated? Will I be ruining my kids' lives? My questions are endless. I'm paralyzed by them. Yeah, I get that. It can be incredibly scary, right? To spend time even to just think about what we actually want for us. Yeah, I do know that can be incredibly scary. It can be hard to take the steps that we need to take because we have all of these unanswered questions about, about my survival, right? Like that's a big thing. And that's like, I think that's why it's really important to work on your mind, to work on your mental fitness, to know the difference between your ego taking over and trying to protect you and keep you safe from harms that aren't really life threatening. It's just your ego is freaking out because change is death to the ego. Getting outside of your comfort zone is death to the ego, and the ego wants to survive. The ego doesn't want to die. And so it does everything it can to scare you, to keep you safe, but it's keeping you small. It's keeping you from thriving, right? And so keep working on recognizing the difference between your sabotaging thoughts, your egoic mind that's trying to keep you safe and keep you small and keep you in your comfort zone and trying to please other people and trying to be perfect and all of these things, and it's hyper diligent and right, and like do everything you can to avoid risk, and like that's not you. That's not your truth. That's your ego. It's doing its job. It has a job to do. Its job is to keep you safe. But if you want something else for yourself, if you truly want something else, so if you do this work and you spend the time to get really clear on your purpose and your vision, and when you're spending time on that, try to release all the fear, because you're safe, right? You're safe to create your vision. You're safe to create your dreams for yourself, right? And then you just keep working on getting in touch with your truth, right? What resonates with you as truth, and you do that based on how things feel for you, right? If staying in a situation doesn't feel right, that's because it's not your truth. That's not right. If something else feels better but it's scary, I say lean into that, and know that you can make it happen if you want it bad enough, and you decide to make it happen. Then you keep working at making it happen, and you don't take no for an answer. All right, next question. Why is the ego so powerful? Does this mean that I will be in conflict with my ego all the time? Yeah, well, the ego is so powerful because we haven't learned to override its power, right? We get into these thought patterns that are built up over years and years and years, and it's developed over time because it's gone unchecked. And so, yes, you probably will always be in conflict with your ego, but with practice, you can weaken the ego, right? You can learn to be in charge. You can be the one in command. So, and it takes being aware. It takes recognizing those egoic thoughts versus your true thoughts, versus your truth. And because your truth, like I said, your truth feels good. Your truth comes from love. That's coming from your heart, right? And it's all the lies of the ego that are like they're generated in your head, and they don't feel good. That's the best I can do to describe the difference. But it just takes a daily practice. You really have to practice it. It's not enough to know about the ego versus your true self. You have to meditate. You have to pay attention. You have to call out your ego when it's acting up, when it's the one running the show. You have to say, hey, I know that's my ego. That's not me. So let me go through a process. Let me think, what else can I think here instead? What's my truth? Right. And so you do have what it takes. You are strong enough. You are good enough. So just keep working on developing your purpose. Do what you have to do. Hire that coach. Take that class. Whatever you have to do for yourself, do it. And you have to stay committed. You have to stay focused, and things will start coming into place. And it's not going to be easy. Maybe it will. If it is, awesome. Don't let that deter you either. But if it's hard, don't let that scare you off. It may or may not be easy. How about that? But keep going. If it's hard, but it's your purpose and it's your vision, it's what you really want, then keep going. When you have setbacks and failures, keep going. Learn from those. Bless them. Be grateful for them, because they're there to help you. They're there to help you grow. So when you have a setback, when you have a small failure, you evaluate and you grow. And now you're so much stronger. You have more knowledge. You have more experience. You apply that to what you're working on. And now you're one step closer to success. So celebrate those failures and setbacks also, right? It's a challenging road at times for sure, but it's so worth it. All right, one last one. This is fascinating. You're amazing. I thought this was a relationship coaching call, but it's going into philosophy too. Thank you for going so deep into this subject. Oh, well, thank you for that very much. And it's all interrelated, like life and relationships. And, I have so much passion for life and self-development and philosophy and spirituality. And I focus on relationships because I think relationships are at the core of all of this. I think relationships are our greatest gift. They're our greatest opportunity for self-growth and development and self-realization. I don't think there's anything more important in life than our relationships, because they're so critical for our growth and for our contribution to the growth of another human or other humans. Right? Without relationships, what do we have? Right? Like nothing. There's no point to this human experience without relationships. That's why we're here, to love each other, to help each other grow, to help ourselves grow, to realize who we truly are and what we truly desire, right? And yeah, sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's hard to know what to do. Sometimes we have questions about ruining our kids' lives. And, I think when it comes to stuff like that, you have to think, would it ruin my kids' lives for me to go after my dreams? Or would it inspire them? Right? Would it show them there's another way? Would it show them that they can believe in themselves, that they can be courageous, that they can create whatever they desire in life, and they're allowed to desire amazing things, right? There's no one stopping you but you. We might think that other people are holding us back or stopping us, and they might try, but the only one that can stop you from creating what you really want is you, right? And so if you can stop yourself, you can also help yourself. And when you're helping yourself, others are going to want to help you too. If you really believe in yourself and you really believe in your vision and your purpose, and you're passionate about it and you're excited about it, you're going to attract other people who want to be a part of that. So that, like, other people come along and they want to help you just because they're so fired up by your fire, by your passion, right? And that's, like, to me, that's what relationships are about. And relationships are part of business. They're part of every aspect of life. That's why I focus on relationships. I think they're just so incredibly important, and they're such a beautiful gift. All right, I have rambled and gone long again. Thank you for these questions. They're amazing. I love them. I appreciate you so much being here and asking these questions and being part of this journey. I hope you got a lot out of this. Again, my name is Chris Weals. I am a relationship coach. I work primarily with men, but not exclusively. If you're a woman and you would like to work with me, then please reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn. And thank you again for joining me at Life Coach University. If you got any value from this and you want to pay the kindness forward and then share that story with us, please do so by emailing us at hello@lifecoachuniversity.com. And please remember to go and check out all of our other talks and conferences and courses and festivals. And there's so much that we're putting together and offering, and we love having you be a part of it. So please check out all the other offerings and sign up and come grow with us. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.